away any secrets yet until we see the cards actually played.
Now, speaking of seeing cards played, I think we are about to jump here into Game 1. Again, we're round 8 of the NAWCQ.
Let's see who wins the die roll. That's a 5, I believe, for Darian right there.
Not the best start.
And a 10 for Mario. Twice the number, twice the speed, going first.
Oh yeah, he's ready to go. We have a points playoffs to participate, and Mario on the right playing Onomat, and then Darian, the challenger, playing Heráldilc vs Ryzeal.
Darian, no stranger to high pressure situations. He's been on feature matches at YCS in the past, and he made very deep runs in tournaments as well. But let's see what Mario decides to open up with. So we get the Onomat Ryzeal first, and here we go. The first one, I gotta say the name Dodo Warrior.
Good job, 4 does.
I like the gallop. I know that you were talking about how you like to say it, like
yes.
Do. I gallop. Do.
Yeah.
Do Warrior.
We love it.
Yeah, it's like a little hop.
And I believe that's sending Go Glove to the grave.
Dodo Dwarf. I mean, it's the same name. It's all just one extended giant series of onomatopoeia, but because there is a Dodo on the field, it's going to be able to special summon itself out. And here comes our first Xyz summon.
Yep, because Dodo has now become level 4. We can go into that first rank 4 here. And I think the big cool part too about the Onomat Ryzeal deck is that most of your plays do not require your normal summon. That's like the really scary part. And oh my gosh, is that
Rafflesia?
Whoa.
That means he's got to be flagging down to his opponent that he has Gravedigger's Trap Hole.
Yeah.
Come on and Ash Blossom me, because if you do, if this Trap Tricks Rafflesia really has that card accessible in the deck, it can negate the activation of that effect, negate it, and 2,000 damage.
And later on in the combo, theoretically, you could put that into an Eclipse if you're past the point where it's like really a threat. So
and
I do like that.
I think we did see Gravedigger's Trap Hole from Mario on Friday. And it's been a long tournament so far.
And he could play a different deck too.
That is true. He can change it up. So no secrets being given away here, but I feel like that's what you're communicating to your opponent. Please try to do that to me.
And just a heads up for everyone watching at home, he used the 7th Tachyon, revealed the Masquerade, and added Ice Ryzeal to hand, which, in terms of normal summons, that's the best one you can get. He's now resolving the effect of 7th Tachyon and putting any card from his hand back on top of the deck.
Perfect.
He's doing it. Ice Ryzeal, normal summons.
And this is the... Ooh.
That's a smart move, though. Not something that a Gravedigger's Trap Hole could work against.
Yes.
If it's in the deck. We really don't know. We just had seen it last time.
And importantly, I mean, this is the power of the Onomat sub-engine in Ryzeal, is that you don't have to commit your normal summon for the Dodo Warrior in order to get your first Xyz out, so that normal summon Ice stopped. And now we have Pot of Prosperity to dig a little deeper into the deck.
Plus, you get like more reasonable grind game too, because if he ever does resolve this Rafflesia to get a Gravedigger's, or the thing I'm hoping for is Plasma Hole, because it is a whole trap card, would be pretty fun to see. Basically, he can use the Go Glove again on a later turn and summon it back out to the field, which normally it would banish itself. So that's like the really cool value part of that card.
Kind of making a difficult choice here, right? You think Pot of Prosperity mostly in decks that don't care about the Rector deck. I would think that a rank 4 toolbox deck like this definitely cares. And so there was a little calculator there. Mario trying to make sure, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and we're banishing 6.
I will say going first, it doesn't hurt as bad, because there's a lot of cards that you don't feel like that rough getting rid of. Things like the new Val on the Super Psych Sky Blaster that a lot of people are playing, Aggregator as well, things like Castel. But maybe later it'll come up, but right now probably not that important. But let's take a look at what is revealed.
Yeah, some great options here. It looks like 2 copies of Onomatopoeia, a Bonfire, also another copy of 7 Tachyon, a little irrelevant here, and then 2 Mulcharmies.
I mean, that Bonfire looks pretty good to me. I'll tell you what, because that gets you X'd Ryzeal, which is more than enough to continue playing. And like we said, we have Rafflesia, so anything like Ash Blossom, or like basically Darian needs another form of infinite impermanence.
Well, here's a more important monster than Ash Blossom. Think about Nibiru, the Primal Being, could be stopped if he has that Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So you do feel safe here, and you kind of know your opponent doesn't have Droll and Lockbird because you've added so many cards to the hand. It's feeling pretty good if you're on the Onomato side.
So he's choosing the Pyro. He's going to be activating the Pyro here, discarding the Mulcharmy Fools for cost, and he's going to get any 2 combinations of Zubababa, Gagaga, Gokugo, or Dododo.
Good job. Great work, Steven.
And I totally forgot about the Gagaga Gunbara Knight, because this will actually give him 2 extra bodies, whereas the X would just give him 1, because you can use the Gunbara Knight to get the monster that you'd summon off it, which is Zubaba Bancho, which is pretty cool.
Taking just a quick look at Zubaba Bancho Gagaga Coat, a powerful monster and a great extender here that's searchable off of your general combos. This deck really is really impressive, and so I'm seeing why so many duelists are turning to it. But Darian decided not to and got just as far in the tournament, so I'll be curious to see how he does it. It's interesting to read both Zexal stands reading each other's cards.
Yep.
Yeah, so here we have the Gagaga Girl being revealed off the Gunbara Knight here to summon itself, and now the Zubaba Bancho. And that's 3 level 4s, so we could see Ouroboros, but I don't think Mario's going to go for that here because he has no other resources after that and no way to keep going through. He definitely wants to access his Ryzeal engine as quickly as possible.
Especially more like a duo drive or something.
Especially with the protection of Rafflesia, it feels very safe.
But we have seen how far Mario can extend this before, but we're going for Infernal Banshee, Flame Banshee.
So another thing that I guess I didn't really get to mention is you could play some really fun Nemesis packages and Protoss in this deck because there's so many different attributes, but that could be like a side deck thing, or it could be in the main deck, we're not sure, but Banshee can just search Pyro monsters, which X is, and as cool as, Bonfire getting one is, Bonfire, while you already have another level 4 in play in the Bancho, is even better.
Certainly is. Just rank 4s for days. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and get the Go 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 Goblinberg.
Yeah, I believe that's not the effect of Gunbar at night when he's removed his material. Let's do that.
Yep, exactly.
Which is so insane because the deck already had so many cool effects, but now it almost has like a mermail vibe to it, right? When you add these particular cards, you are getting additional effects as you're detaching from materials. So what feels great? Well, 1 card effect is good, but 2 is even better.
Shooting 2.
Yeah, all the Onomat cards having effects when they get detached, that's like the really cool thing about them, whereas the heraldry cards really just have the effects when they're sent to the graveyard, and that would not trigger if they're detached, unfortunately, as all my Sandgan fans out there must know.
All right, well,
From the field, they're in the ether when they're under those Xyzs.
So here Mario might be wanting to get for a Star Ryzeal. That could be pretty cool to get access to Cross as quickly as possible before we go for the duo drive. I could see him just rushing to get Detonator, but there's a Star coming down. Maybe just wants to guarantee that Cross as the final layer of protection, having Rafflesia and that.
So it looks like we're considering we're going to go ahead and possibly detach the Ice Ryzeal from the Infernal Flame Banshee to special summon Star Ryzeal. Mario not quite certain about it, but it seems like it's a good move. Oh, we're actually going to get rid of one of those. Interesting.
Just get the Go-Go-Go Glove in the graveyard too, I think makes a lot of sense to me.
It could be a good extender, and it safely puts it there for future turns.
Every monster zone currently taken up by Mario.
Oh, he's going to do some XC summoning, don't you worry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So at this point, we could actually start looking at things like Ouroboros to start ripping cards out of Darian's hand.
Well, we did see there's a great combo you can do using Node Ryzeal and Eclipse Twins in order to send the cards to the graveyard and then revive your Ouroboros with Eclipse Twins. So we could be seeing that now. And so here we go. It's Ryzeal Duo Drive, so maybe just a few more extensions to the combo before we try it.
And I almost wonder if Ouroboros is one of the cards that you would banish with the Pot of Prosperity, just because it's a little like, you want to get to your cards more so than like have this really high end here for Mario.
It depends on how safe Mario felt when he activated that. Like if he was sure all of his Ryzeal combos are going to go unfettered, why not just leave it in there as well as the ultimate cap to put the punish in there?
Ryzeal Plasma Hole appears. Such a cool card. Again, it's able to destroy. Oh, and that was enough. Speaking of getting destroyed.
Plasma Hole is so good. Once your opponent sees it, you got to concede the game.
Beautiful. What an incredible start. Traptix, Rafflesia really putting in work there, because Darian, if he had anything else in his hand that's a monster card, just suddenly stopped. He cannot interact with Mario for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, that just screams Gravediggers. Like, oh, I'm just going to be playing into something like this. Now, something to keep in mind is Darian conceded way early. Mario has no idea what he's playing. He has no idea that this is a Ryzeal mirror match. He has no idea that he's playing against Heráldilc of all decks.
True.
So he could maybe stumble a little bit as we go into games 2 and 3 and not play the right kind of non-engine, but Mario seems like a pretty solid player. Been playing for 20 plus years. He knows how to side deck, even into the unknown.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's also just the mark of some of the top duelists that they're willing to take that game 1 loss. A lot of folks that are less experienced, especially on the feature match stage, will try and just be like, maybe I can do something, but Darian says, nope, it's not worth it.
I mean, we learned this yesterday, you know, dueling, especially at the highest level possible, is all about rhythm, you know, and I would rather keep the rhythm of, okay, I'm in this, go into game 2, than just sit there waiting for my opponent to beat me in game 1. Like, imagine if Darian took his whole turn, tried his best to fight through the board, and still lost anyway. That would be so detracting from the overall tempo of the game. Whereas saving time, saving information, hiding information, and keeping your rhythm is just so valuable.
But like you had said, now we'll get to see the Heráldilc Beast side going first and start to see what some of those combos look like, because they'll look similar, but they do have different kind of goals as to how they bridge between the engines.
I would say the biggest bonus to the heraldry cards is you get powerful spell cards. Like Advanced Heraldry Art being a free rank 4 cannot go unsaid of how strong that is.
And if I recall correctly, you can activate it multiple times in a single turn, right?
It is
oh
not,
my goodness,
it is
okay.
not a once per turn card.
So I think Darian will show us how he builds his overlay network, and well, maybe then we'll end up in game 3, but we have to see. Mario could close this out before we know it.
Yeah. But because of Advanced Heraldry Art, that's where you can really start to loop things like Ouroboros, because as long as you have that spell, you can always use that to get to your Duo Drive later. Just use your material on the field to go for those hand loops, and then end with that Heraldry Art. Reestablish the Ryzeal board from that position. It gets a little crazy.
And Darian definitely seems just locked in, staring down his opponent as he shuffles his deck as we get ready to go into this game 2. It's been a long day, but both of these duelists are definitely in contention again. If you've got 7 wins this far, you are definitely going to day 2. So right now we're just playing for as much advantage as possible to secure that spot in the top 64 tomorrow.
Both these duelists, again, very comfortable in these types of positions. They're both very experienced at this stage, but this is the biggest stage outside of the World Championships. This is the North American World Championship qualifiers. You have to win out here, get one of those top 4 positions. Only 4 spots on the line, and we had, what, 2,799 total duelists competing for 4 spots. Now we have game 2 ahead of us in this round 8 feature match.
All right, it's time to duel. Let's see what Darian does.
Look, man. Good luck. Stand by. Yes, main phase. Yes.
So the Advanced Heraldry Art is not one of the starters for the Heráldilc Ryzeal deck.
You'd already have the heraldries in the graveyard.
Exactly.
But if you have things
wow, here we go.
If you have things like X Ryzeal sending Patriarch, you can automatically get those 2 sent to the graveyard. And normally you send things like Leo and Griffin, and then Leo can give you access to Stadwale and a bunch of other really cool cards.
Apologize for getting excited there, but it's just so interesting to see X Ryzeal again send the number 18 and be able to just get the 2 Leos to the graveyard instantaneously like that.
Yeah.
Both these cards, when they're similar, you add any Heraldry Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Sorry, Heráldilc Beast monster. And because there's 2, it is not a I believe it is a once per turn effect, so I believe he'll only get one. If he's going to get Stadwell, and Stadwell will get the rest, because Stadwell cannot get the spell cards, and that's going to be really powerful.
Darien, very efficient here, knows exactly what he wants to do, slamming down that Sword Ryzeal and then adding Ice Ryzeal from his deck to his hand. Starting off very strong, but giving away certainly some information. You can see Mario just kind of paying attention there. He's had to have played against this deck before, but wonder what his game plan will be. Ooh, by the way.
And this is the scary one. If this is normal summon or special summon, you can discard a card, add 2 heraldry, spells, or traps from your deck to your hand. That is Heráldilc Beast, Stad Whale.
And oh, there's the call by the grave on the Ash Blossom. That will guarantee the Stad Whale. That will guarantee 2 heraldry, advanced heraldry arts, which is 2 free XCs.
Such a powerful series of plays there from Darien. Impossible to understate just how impactful that called by the grave was, because this opens up so many options for Darien.
I know, if he didn't have that if he didn't have that called by the grave, I think that Stad Whale
Here we go.
Stad
Here we
Whale.
go.
This is Ouroboros,
Oh,
baby.
no.
Oh, yes. This card has
And
many
Mario
effects.
knows. Mario nodding
Strap
gently
in,
to
everybody.
himself.
But there's only one that matters right here. We're going to randomly rip a card out of Mario's hand, effectively going -2
Gotta
on
roll,
that Ash
gotta roll.
Blossom. Because it needs to be random. You need to prove that it's random. One. It's the same one.
That's
We love
funny.
it. We give
Destiny.
it a cross. That's a pretty tough one. I don't think there's a way to get that back.
Not without another copy across itself.
Funny enough.
I think he's running the 2 of.
Hey, sometimes I do, but that's why they're up here and I'm back here.
Yeah, as we always like to remind the stream, there's a reason that we chose our careers.
And this was really big by Darien, too, doing this first, because if Mario had any form of interruption, he has the advanced heraldry arts just to get back into his actual combo. So doing Ouroboros is totally fine, because now we're going to go for the Eclipse Twin lines that Steven mentioned earlier.
I've just seen it before. It's such a cool combo. Maybe not for the duelist on the receiving end of that, but it is a great way to be able to use Node kind of a different way to loop that and then get the Evil Storm Ouroboros back on the field.
And here we go, Heraldry Art. Fun fact, those Heráldilc Beast monsters can have the same name, so you can get 2 Leos here, target them. They do get to summon back. They are targeted, though, so if he has any DD Crows or anything, that can matter.
Count the advanced heraldry arts with us, chat. That is 1 right there.
And we know
we'll
there's another.
keep a count. There you go. Steven has a pen in front of him to denote that.
And here we see the dual drive, and we did put the Ryzeal in the grave, so now we get that extra attachment, which is even better with this cross here for that protection.
Because you can remove 2 and safely still have the Ryzeal cross protecting it. Just a really powerful field spell. It's funny, too, you would almost think that one of them is left-handed because the field spells are matching up like that.
Adorable.
Unfortunately, one was discarded by Ouroboros, and I have an inkling that will not be the only card ripped out of Mario's hand.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance he summons Ouroboros 2 more times this turn.
Oh, and it's perfect. There's the Node Ryzeal, sending it to the graveyard. We're going to see Ouroboros back and another card discarded from the hands.
Yeah, Node will bring back the sword, and then
Oh,
Eclipse
what?
Twins will activate.
Attaching the Patriarch. Yeah,
Attaching the Patriarch sends it back to the graveyard for more. Okay, this is crazy.
And then we got
that's awesome.
Detonator attach to the Eclipse Twins.
Yep.
Ouroboros activates. Rip another
Here we
card
go.
here.
Here we go.
Some claps from the chat there and
One
in the
again,
audience.
one again. It's always that one.
Oh, and Mario can see.
Doesn't even want to show
Okay.
it. Doesn't even want to show it. Darien's smiling to the crowd.
Cheeky little look there.
If you're out here, people are cheering.
Degenerate matchup. This is like the worst one to lose the roll in, dude. These 2 decks are so crazy.
They are
Darien
so crazy,
acknowledges
Darien.
The power of these cards when they go first and go unfettered is just unbelievable. So Darien is completely right. And the power that these Ray 4 decks have to just kind of blow people out of the water is insane.
And I'm happy we got to see both. We got to see the Dodo Warrior start for the Onomat Ryzeal combo. We got to see the Heráldilc Beast to do its full combo, and it is intimidating, to say the least, if you're sitting on the other side of either of those.
Well, Steven, you always say that the most important game is game 3.
100%.
And here we are. I mean, how do you prepare? You know that Mario gets to go first. So, Darien, what are you adding to your deck maybe to try to side this out?
Like, unironically, he's probably taking out a lot of the really powerful heraldry cards, because things like advanced heraldry art, while they are really strong, it can be hard to go for those lines through people's boards. He probably is only going to play the minimum 2, the minimum Stadwell, so that he can maximize the amount of side deck options he put in, like the Mulcharmies, like the Droll and Lockbirds, like the whatever else he might have. Because essentially, in game 3, once you have more information, it's less important to maximize your power and more important to make sure that you have the game stay even, because we know how powerful these decks are. Who cares how much non-engine you draw? Sorry, who cares how much engine you draw? You're going to lose the game no matter what. You need to be able to stop him from going that hard.
But what happens if we see Trap Tricks with Fleazy again? Will any of those cards actually assist him unless they're infinite permanents?
And that is the interesting note to make there, is that some duelists approaching the NAWCQ have been thinking that, you know, opting for cards that can just defeat established boards on your turn might start rising in priority. So if Darien has any of those in the sideboard, that could come up and then actually just be able to play through what Mario establishes, as opposed to trying to stop it, because now you know that Rafflesia is in the deck. But then we get the fun mind game. What if Mario sides out of Gravedigger's Trap Hole? And
You're
still
right.
summons the Rafflesia.
Because it's like a trick that only works once, perhaps, right?
He might side out of it going second, for sure. But he knows he's going first.
Yes, yeah. But again, mind games.
100%. I mean, technically, Darien has no idea if he even has Gravediggers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we never actually saw it. We just assumed it existed.
Some people just play it for the, Ryzeal Plasma Hole inevitability. So it's like, whatever. Nice turn point.
Just some strong duelists doing strong things. So one last shuffle here before these greats go up against each other once again. You get to see who has the more well, victory-driven Ryzeal deck, because that's the thing. They're both great duelists, but Mario already knows one of you guys may not make it allowed with here alive.
And they're both so fun. I know that the Ryzeal deck has really evolved a lot over the last couple of months with all the new sets coming out. The Heráldilc Beast kind of being one of the newer additions to the Rank Force, and now we have the Onomats as well. It's so fun to see duelists with their creativity and how they choose to approach taking such a strong core of Ryzeals and then supplement it with all these other engines.
And I will say, like, let's say this matchup does go into like a non-engine war, it becomes a more grindy XE's sort of advantage match. I think that's going to Onomat, no question, because they have the effects that you can reuse over and over again each turn, whereas the Heraldries, as we saw, just have that big explosiveness, that increase to the ceiling that I was talking about, well, not actually increasing the overall consistency.
I'm ready for Ryzeal to go away.
Oh, wow. Both of these duels love Ryzeal, but apparently one of them says ready to go away. We're at the World Championship qualifier, so here we go. Game 3 of round 8 against these two fierce duelists. Let's see what they do.
They have plenty of time to finish this one out and try to have one of them end up 8-0 here at the NAWCQ. Will it be Mario or will it be Darian? Let us know your thoughts in the chat below.
If you're Darian, you're hoping that Mario does not show something like an X right away, or that you have something like this.
Those are the cards we're talking about.
Just
those
claps.
things that just kind of keep your opponent from wanting to play as much as possible. We're going to get that draw of the normal summon of ice, and now we're going to summon from the deck.
Perulio will get one draw every time a monster summoned from the hand, and Ryzeal's do that a few times with the infinite impermanence as well.
There it is. This is what Darian wanted. He wanted to slow Mario down, and he wanted to kind of disincentivize him from going as hard as we saw him go in game 1.
Yeah. And it can be very tough for a Ryzeal player to confidently play into this at this point, because you're going to give your opponent so many draws off of that.
Yeah, especially with the Onomat version, which summons from the hand so much.
Okay, we get a search. This will not add to hand because there's no monster on our opponent's field, but we can set any normal spell or trap from our deck here for Mario.
Do you think there's a dimensional barrier just to set and call Xyz?
I mean, it could be.
There could be all kinds of things in
All
that deck.
right, let's see what the trap card is, or maybe a spell.
We're game 3 post side. It could be anything.
Could be anything.
It could be Onomat. Oh, but we can't
Seven
activate this turn,
Tachyon. There's options for it.
But
Oh,
we
yeah,
can't
without
activate
being
it.
able to
Yeah,
activate
so likely I would feel the strongest pick would be a trap, which could be setting for additional stuff later.
Could be the Gravedigger's Trap Hole, maybe?
That'd be funny.
That would be very funny.
Oh, just a bonfire. How
Yeah,
interesting.
he's playing for the long game
Yeah.
with that one. He might already have the other card he would have searched anyway in hand. Just getting extra value.
Darian making a sort of E face to the chat there.
Because that tells Darian, like, he must already have the card he would have searched anyway in hand, right?
Darian knows how to play to the crowd. This is a natural born entertainer over here.
Oh,
and
just
there's the
pass.
hard pass for Mario.
No.
That Perulio is too hard to play
Stand by
when
me.
the Imperm is more than enough. Imperm is really valuable against non-pure
Yeah.
versions of Ryzeal.
I'm gonna go
So that's
for
really
6
big.
here.
So also using Extravagance here, just able to get rid of some of these extra Xyz monsters there.
We saw this game when
Prosperity.
Mario was really useful for him.
It's nice to see Prosperity back in rotation here. Some duelists kind of left it behind when it was put on 1 of the Forbidden Limited list, but it's still a good card. That's why it's at 1.
Yeah, it's not like maximum consistency, but it's like that little extra boost.
And it's one of those when you have a deck that has a couple of cards that you would rather not draw, like the Node in it, just adding this really limits the chance of drawing those while also giving you more consistency. Let's see what Darian decides to add to hand from this position.
It depends on what his other cards are, but 7 Tachyon seems really good. But
The one thing we can say is that Darian probably will not win this turn now because of the downside of Pot of Prosperity. You're inflicting half damage to your opponent now.
another big downside is it adds cards from deck to hand, so Draw and Lockport gets to be activated. And that's probably why Mario went for that Bonfire, because he knew, okay, I don't need to really stymie him. I have a card that will already hopefully do so. I need to be able to play on my next turn.
And everyone's got to be waiting with a bated breath here at the Indiana Convention Center.
Normal summon Leo.
Okay. Now this does not do anything on the field. Oh, are we just attacking it?
It
will phase attack.
So it will actually destroy itself during the end phase, but because he activated Draw and Lockport, he won't be able to add anything when it gets sent to the
Ooh,
graveyard.
that is unfortunate, but it does have 2,000 attack on its own.
Yeah.
Darian is...
Oh!
Yeah.
So because Darian knows he has the Bonfire, he's just scooping. Darian didn't have anything to play.
Wow.
He knows that Mario would be able to assemble a strong enough field, and Darian had no interaction in that hand, so...
He had Heraldry Art, but no targets in
Wow.
the
It was
grave.
You didn't have a starter. You
You
needed
gotta
a sword.
call Darian a dueling genius, though, because both duels, he kind of played the whole game out in his head, and he said, no, I concede. I'm not going to waste any more of your time.
Yeah, he was in his mind palace right there.
Yeah.
Going through all the different times.